Good morning, gang. Happy Sunday morning. Okay. Remember the old phrase coined by Franklin Delano Roosevelt? We have nothing to fear but fear itself. Yeah. You ever get the idea that that became a rallying cry for politicians, for the media, for everybody? Hey, this is a great way we can sell stuff, right? Okay. I was cruising through the news this morning to just see what happened in the world. We had a real interesting deal that happened here in my town last night. There was apparently a police chase over 100 miles an hour through curvy roads over a bridge, and car accident, flipped over a bridge, wound up going down 100 or so feet into the lake. People died, whatever. Who knows if it was drunks or tweakers or illegals or what. But when you're running from the cops at 100 miles an hour out in the country, it's not because, gee, you were speeding. Okay. Don't know all the details on it yet. They're still coming out. This just happened last night. I heard about it during the live stream, but this just happened last night about 6 o'clock. But fear. I was cruising through the news and just looking at numerous different websites and stuff like that I look at to see what happened. And usually Saturday nights are pretty slow, or Saturdays and Sundays are pretty slow for what happens. Okay. But I got a kick out of how many stories there are. I mean, lots on fear. That, oh, all the fear about Monday's solar eclipse, all the fear mongering about civil war, about world war, about terrorism. Nothing factual out there about what's going on in the way of stories. Okay, I was telling you guys in a live stream last night about the Air Force general who saying he expects a EMP tomorrow during the solar eclipse. You've got what counties in Ohio, Texas, there's probably more, that have declared states of emergency. All these comments about you need to stock up on food, you need to stock up on water, you need to stock up on gasoline, yada yada yada, because we don't know what's going to happen. Okay, fear. Fear sells. We've all heard that. It amazes me how much the media, Washington, television, or whatever, promotes fear. I mean, even go to Hollywood. Some of the biggest blockbuster movies are disaster movies. I mean, you look at what Independence Day and Aliens, or Armageddon. I forget the name of the one, Bruce Willis and the asteroid. But I mean, those are blockbuster movies, huge, right? Because, oh my God, this could happen, right? Sure, it could. Okay. I mean, look at all the panic on the New York earthquake the other day, like I was talking about. The thing is that if you prepare, not out of fear, but out of common sense, out of self-reliance, you have nothing to be afraid of. Telling a bunch of preppers to stock food and water, you want me to put 2 weeks of food away? Great. I guess I've got about 100 weeks worth of stuff I need to throw out then. Right? Okay. Stocking water, okay. I mean, this will be a massive problem for normies out there, because their idea of stocking water, oh, I've got an extra case of water in my house. Great, that'll last you a day. Uh, most of us have multiple sources of water. I mean, we know that storing water, having cases of water, it's a lot of weight and a lot of space. Okay, so you have other plans for getting water, and you know how to do it. We've talked about many of them. Okay. Storing fuel. Okay, most preppers have a stockpile of some fuel. I mean, at least enough to power generators, refill the tanks in the car to go somewhere if you need to, any sort of equipment you might need to use. I mean, storing fuel is a little more difficult because gas goes bad over time. But, most preppers have 50 to 100 gallons, if not more, of fuel put away for emergencies and rotate it appropriately, do whatever. But you hear all this fear, 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 fear. And why? Because through fear is one of the easiest ways to control a population. Personally, I don't like to be controlled. If you can't make somebody afraid, you can't control them. Oh my God, we're going to have an EMP. Oh my God, what if they attack the grid and the electricity goes out? Okay, click, click, click. I got juice. I'm not afraid of it. Okay. Oh my God, what if all the cell towers go out? I don't know, what do I have? 4 or 5 other ways of communicating with people? Yeah, okay. I mean, CBs, 2-ways, walkie-talkies, ham radio, GMRS. Okay, yeah, I can still find out what's going on. A crank radio in case the media is still broadcasting somewhere to find out what's going on. And of course, then read between the lines to see what's true and what's not. Okay. Oh, you don't need AR-15s, you need F-16s. Okay, but Joe, I got more than AR-15s in my stash. Okay, don't have an F-16, but you ain't going to do a whole lot with that either. You can't make me afraid. This is the thing. They are trying to control us through fear. If we are not afraid, they can't control us. Oh, Donald Trump is a threat to democracy. Please explain that one to me, as we have a practically an avowed communist in the White House right now who's shredding the Constitution. Okay. No, you're not going to take my freedoms away. You can't. I'm not afraid of you. I have enough internal fortitude, guts, balls to stand up to you if you try. I'm not going to be the one going, oh, you can give me a loaf of bread and a canteen of water? I'll do anything. Nope. You have no control over me. This is what scares them more than anything else. And the more people that wake up and realize that the reason we are here, I mean literally here, is because all of our ancestors refused to be controlled. They decided, no, I'm going to take matters in my own hands and make sure I have the skills, the ability, the resources to take care of myself. And all of our ancestors learned how to hunt, to fish, to grow food, to build shelter, etc., etc., etc. Okay? And amazingly, in a very short time, okay, I mean, mind you, the United States has only existed for 250 years. Okay, in a very short time, the United States became the pinnacle of where people in the world wanted to go. Okay, that this was where you could have a life, enjoy a life. You know, why is it that we don't see 10 million people flooding the borders into China, into North Korea, into Iran? Why aren't the airports in Havana, Cuba overflowing with people that want to go there? Because those people are controlled. They're controlled by fear. Don't get on a knee and worship Xi Jinping. We'll kill you. Have a Bible in North Korea? We'll kill you. Okay. Ruling by fear. This is what the liberal left want to do. They make it sound like, oh, we're doing all this for you. No, they're not. They're doing it specifically to control you. If you don't do this, Mrs. Jones, we're taking this away from you. I mean, you look at the farmer in Pennsylvania, the Amish farmer, and taking his land. You look at what they tried real quick in Oregon that I talked about a few weeks ago that got repealed in a few days about telling people not to grow gardens or farm. You look at all these idiotic laws that you're not allowed to collect rainwater, right? These are all attempts to make you less sufficient or less self-sufficient and have more control administered over you by a government. Look at everything we hear about GMO food all over the place, where they're doing whatever they can to take away your right to feed yourself, make it harder and harder and harder to do it. But hey, we've got all the GMO crap in the store that you can buy. Well, we're just going to make your money not worth as much, so you won't be able to get as much. All the talk that we've had for the last few years on a CBDC, we want to control you. The biggest thing that when you are prepping you need to do, the biggest thing is when you are living that you need to do, is take the control away from somebody else. You know, when you're a little kid, yeah, you know, the old mortgage rule, he who pays the mortgage makes the rules. I know I heard that a lot when I was a kid, okay? You know, my folks paid the mortgage. They're the one that told me what to do. Come 18 years old and I was out, okay? I didn't live under anybody's rules again. I now lived under my rules. And I did the things the way I wanted to do it. And every one of you guys are the same. And you had to cut your way through the roller coaster of life, you know, ups and downs, you know, victories and losses. We all made mistakes, no question, but it got us to where we are. And when you're looking at what's going on in the world, in the media, what the ultimate goal is. The ultimate goal is control. Okay. People could call it power. That may be true. A lot of people say it's financial. I think that's part of it, but that's not it. When you've got more money than God, okay, you know, Jeff Bezos, Mark Zuckerberg, Elon Musk, pick one of them, Nancy Pelosi, cheating her way to it. When you've got more money than you could possibly spend in your life, what do you want next? Now you want power. You want to be able to control other people. That's what they're trying to do. That's what they're trying to take from you. And the easiest way to stop it is to be self-sufficient. Whatever you do, I don't care. I had a backup plan. And that puts the power back and the control back in your hands. And that will freak them out until they make a mistake. And then when they make their mistake, that's when we drop them where they stand. Pinball out.